May 2025, the Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board launched a scheme called Sanchari Cauvery. Through this scheme, the board aimed to bring Kaveri water to all of Bengaluru's households using tankers. A month after the launch, we hit the ground to check on the implementation of the program and bring you details about the booking and delivery experience. Is it a smooth sail, or are there any hiccups for this ambitious project? Bengaluru's rapid expansion has led to an explosive rise in population from 4.1 million in 1991 to 14 million today. Naturally, the demand for water has shot up, but the supply hasn't kept pace. In 2021, the city's daily water demand was as high as 2,820 million litres per day or MLD, while the supply was at 1,460 MLD, almost 50% less than the demand. Moreover, out of 225 wards in the city, only the older wards, about 100 in the east, west and south zones, received piped Kaveri water through BWSSB. Several areas in the newer expansions of Bengaluru are still waiting for Kaveri Stage 5 to be functional so they can receive piped water. Until then, many of these residential areas and apartment complexes rely on bowells and private water tankers every single day.
Yes, Sanchari Cauvery is one of the revolutionary scheme of BWSSB. We wanted to prevent the exploitation of the groundwater by replacing it with our Kaveri drinking water so that the groundwater can be effectively utilized. Secondly, the consumers have been exploited by the private tanker owners by putting an arbitrary price depends upon the seasonal fluctuations. Therefore, the introduction of Sanchari Cauvery has impacted this market domain also. Therefore, the rate of tanker at the private level also has come down very drastically. In fact, I have been told by our team that about 40 to 50% they have cut their price from the normal market price.
So let's see how Sanchari Cauvery works in real time. The BWSSB has launched a website and a dedicated app called Kaveri on Wheels on Google Play Store, where residents can book tankers directly. This app is currently not available on iOS. The site collects basic data like address, type of residence and Aadhaar details. Once logged in, the system automatically detects the geolocation and connects to the nearest filling center from where the water will be supplied. And the final step is the payment. Under Sanchari Cauvery, a 4,000 litre tanker is priced at 660 rupees, a 5,000 litre tanker at 700 rupees, a 6,000 litre tanker at 740 rupees and a 12,000 litre tanker at 1290 rupees. These charges are applicable if the booking is within a 2-kilometer radius of the nearest filling center. Additional distance is charged at 50 rupees per kilometer for smaller tankers and 70 rupees per kilometer for the 12,000 litre tankers. In comparison, private tankers charge between 1,000 to 3,000 rupees for a tanker, with the rates often escalating during summer.
Everything is being done through the online. So, the moment you put your location, it will automatically calculate the distance from the filling point to the destination. So, automatically rate will be calculated by the computer based system, and they can also make the payment through online system, so that everything is transparent. They need not do any cash handling. So, and also they can track the tanker once it is filled and how it is reaching. This kind of single window system, single window application for booking is first of its kind in nation, and therefore even the private tanker wallahs, they are unable to provide such a seamless interface between the supplier and the consumers.
Once the order is placed, the nearest tanker is assigned to fill water from one of the BWSSB's 55 connect centers. The officers then check the water level and seal the water inlet. Users can track the tanker in real time through the app and get the driver's contact details. The BWSSB claims to fulfill the order within 24 hours.
We have been in touch with members who are both within the existing BWSSB network as well as beyond the BWSSB network. And it is definitely a good scheme to make sure that, the same supplier who supplies water to the large population of the city is able to supply to unnetworked areas also. Are we able to get consistent supply over period of longer period of time? Because we have been reliant on tanker supplies all these whiles through external parties. And at that point in time, going back to the existing current tanker supplier becomes a big challenge, and there is a cost escalation also which happens. But apart from that, also when BWSSB has supplied, some of the tankers have gotten back to the apartments and said, why are you moving away from us? We don't want you to move away from us. One is it is our livelihood also. The other thing is there are some who have not been as polite as what I just spoke to you about. They're saying, uh, there is a certain level of toughness in that messaging also from them.
The biggest advantage of Sanchari Cauvery is water quality. Unlike private water tankers, who often supply water from unknown sources with questionable water quality, Sanchari Cauvery water is BIS certified and meets mandated standards for drinking water in India. Every morning, water samples from all supply centers are brought to BWSSB's NABL accredited lab, where they're tested for chemical, biological, and bacterial parameters.
ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ BDA ಲೇಔಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಸಾಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ಗಳ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಅವಲಂಬಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಮ್ಮರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕಾವೇರಿ ನೀರು ಬಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಭಾಳ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಯಿತು. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ಮಾಫಿಯಾ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಇವ್ರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದರಿಂದ.
We are from Shobha Dreammakers Rainforest Apartment. Here we don't have any groundwater. The daily water requirement for all of us put together will be approximately 9 lakh litre, and approximately 8 lakh litre we are getting from the tankers. So there is a heavy dependency on water tanker, and when water tanker water is being used, we observe heavy chemicals and heavy hardness and the TDS. Total hardness is around 540, magnesium is around 65, calcium is around 115. When we get to the Kaveri water, it is very less TDS, and the mineral is approximately magnesium 2.4 and calcium is 8.0. So this is how the quality of the water is differing from the normal water tankers to the BWSSB.
But the system is not perfect. Users often face glitches. The site crashes, and apartment residents say the booking process is tedious.
We had to book each individual tanker every day in advance. That's approximately 75 to 80 tanker per day. So this each booking we have to go, and the OTP we have to tell after unloading is happening. So that is very cumbersome process right now, and it takes like a full day, 24 hours we have to wait for the OTP or wait for the tanker.
So considering the need and requirement at site, what we thought is we'll go for an alternative option where consumers can go for a bulk booking system. In this mechanism, consumer can actually book in advance for a period of on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, or a yearly, quarterly, or half yearly, or an yearly basis. He can book in advance. We have launched this initiative, and it's been a very friendly initiative, and we have been getting huge responses from the consumers.
To make a bulk booking, users are required to go to the nearest BWSSB office to raise a request. Right now, BWSSB operates more than 100 tankers for Sanchari Cauvery, with plans to expand operations. Private tanker operators can also register with BWSSB to become official suppliers.
Right now 108 private tankers have been ported with this system. It is operating similar to a Ola Cap model, where it depends upon their supply system. We are able to pay them on a trip basis. Right now, last 15 days before introduction of system, we have done some piloting. After that, then we are doing the regular tripping for next 15 days only. So in the last 15 days, we could be able to mobilize about 1,560 tanker supply through the Sanchari Cauvery. That itself a big achievement for us, because Initially entering the market, getting that market share is not easy, but definitely over a period of time we will definitely increase the number of trips.
Our primary target is at least 8 loads per day per tanker we want to achieve, and right now we are very close to it. If you look at the tanker owners, they are also gearing up to scale it up to 12 to 16 loads per day. They are ready to work on shift basis and supply more waters.
The average per capita consumption of fresh water in Bengaluru is 150 to 200 litres per day. But Kaveri water supply is only about 100 to 125 litres per day, which leaves more than half the residents of the city to fend for themselves. Sanchari Cauvery can address some of these needs as well as guard against depleting groundwater levels. Access to clean drinking water is a basic right, and the BWSSB would do well to accelerate the Kaveri Stage 5 connections in Bengaluru.